Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 576, Public Pass Through versus Private Trust. This is definitely one of those episodes that you're definitely going to want to grab some popcorn and sit back and expect to hear information that you'll be able to have a conversation with your business associates, with your accountant, and possibly a lawyer if you have an attorney. So we're going to have this conversation today. So we thank everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 576, Public Pass Through versus Private Trust. Definitely wanted to talk about this today. It comes up quite a bit in conversations when it comes to people having the entity that they're operating in before they come to the vault. And so that entity has been them operating through a S corp. So we definitely wanted to address this situation and talk about it today. Why? Because it's very important. A lot of people have come to the vault for years. They're inside of S corps, and they don't know possibly how they got into S corp. We have people reach out to us and say, "Hey, I went through this third party website, and once again, they went through the third party website, and it classified the entity as a pass through." So we're gonna talk about this day because a lot of people are definitely not excited, not thankful about the fact that they were placed into an S corp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very simple. When you look at the public market, there's various different entities people can operate in. This isn't, financial advice or legal advice. We're having that conversation. So feel free to definitely prepare for the workshop. It's actually 12 seats right now, even though we have this isn't an updated flyer, but it's an updated flyer with the content to get going to the actual workshop. But we got less than 12 seats. Workshop's on August 24th. Christian at trustchristian.com for inquiry. Tickets are going fast, as they say. It always is a sellout event because we have trustees that are already in the program that they can make it. Some people just have to travel, and that's that. But in Atlanta, look forward to it. Always appreciate you all. So the pass through. So they go through these third party websites, people do, and then the third party website sets them up as a pass through when in all actuality the pass through, which is the S corp, has the least amount of information on it. So is that good for your lawyer or your accountant when they're dealing with the entity if there's less education on it, less information on it? So if C corps have the most information out on them outside of a private trust or a trust, we're gonna go into these pass-throughs though that people use in the public. So let's talk about the pass-through when not just the C corp. We're talking about now going to the S corp. The S corp classified as that. You think about it. People go to the public to tell the public that they want to be a pass-through. By default, they were going to be liable. They've also elected to be a pass through with the entity that they're operating through. And so, is that the best position? Is that the most efficient position to be in? A private trust. Oh, okay, well, I want to deal with those things. That's what people say. Well, if you want to deal with those things, it requires an education, it requires getting the mentorship that's necessary. It involves even getting what the people call the paperwork. Oh, I want the paperwork. They come on the line. They say, oh, I have a trust. Well, if you have a trust, you're not private. Do you see how we can cut to the chase at the vault? Because this is what we work with families, helping them correct the speech. Oh, you think you got it on the line with us? Don't worry about us. When you go in front of everybody else, that's what you need to be thinking about. This is business, not personal. To the public pass through. Oh, we got a public pass through. Trust Christian in the vault. It's this. I'm in the S corp. What do I do? My lawyer said, or my accountant says, I can't change it till the end of the year. These are the things we've heard trustees come back and say to us for years. That doesn't mean it's accurate. That doesn't mean that it doesn't stop a random accountant from another area that doesn't know the other accountant that we heard that from. Okay. So when it comes to these pass throughs, Ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, we're sitting in a room with some wealthy people recently and some other wealthy people, and we said, did you know 40% of the wealth that's transferred is almost transferred through a pass through? The S? 40%? I'm like, there's no way. But you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, you're in when you go to get the C or the LLC, okay, those are the two classifications. The next one is going into the federal, going to a higher level, and getting it classified as a pass through. How does that make sense? We're having a conversation in the public about it. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. But because people are put in those positions, that's what they think. Oh well, okay. If I get in this, if I the LLC, then I go to a S corp. What happened? You just got a name, but it's still taxed to you because you're taking income. It's a pass through, right? Right. It's a pass through. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pass through. And these pass through entities, when you hear that a lot of wealth is being passed through those, whether you know it or not, those are the highest taxable positions. So for it being the highest taxable position or one of them outside of the personal, what do you think people expect? They expect to lose the money to what? The market, to fees. That's what they expect. They expect to lose the money to the market and fees. That's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you expect to lose money to the market and fees, what is it? Fee? What do you want to call them? Any fees that they have to associate, ladies and gentlemen. You all are aware of the fees that we're talking about because it's a public pastoral entity. There's going to be quite a few, you know, liabilities associated with it. They'll say, oh well, it's not the C corp. It's not getting double taxed. Isn't that what they say? It's not the C corp. Well, is your liability higher than the double? And have you checked? Because most people haven't checked. That's why we're having this conversation. They haven't checked. They haven't checked to see what's the best advantage position to be in. They haven't checked. So we're sharing with this episode so people can check. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to get your ticket to the workshop, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. Wanted to do this quick episode about pass through, public pass through entities and private trust. They're definitely different. They're not going to be the same. We'll have to do another part two to this episode. This was just a brief one to get it started because really wanted to talk about these pass throughs, which have a low level of history. And once again, what is disregarded? What is actual acknowledged? What is the forms that are acknowledged, not just the substance? Look forward to hearing from you all. Look forward to seeing you at the workshop, Christian@trustchristian.com. We definitely are going to have our enrolled agent there. We're actually going to have them sponsor a location. And then as well, we're going to have a private family banker. So be prepared for that. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, Christian@trustchristian.com for the workshop. Christian@trustchristian.com. Peace and